talk about VAT. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. I hope you're all good. I hope you're all great. I hope everything is fantastic. We are talking about VAT. What is VAT? And also, I want us guys to look at something very interesting. You know this thing of VAT, right? We are all thinking about, yeah, everything is going to be expensive. Yeah, everything, what. And listen, there is more than that. There is more than just the price of bread or the price of products or services or anything. I want us to start by reading what is actually VAT, right? That is the first thing. This is what it says, right? VAT, which actually means value added tax. If you didn't know, VAT, value added tax, is a type of indirect tax that is applied at each stage of production and distribution of goods and services. That means when they are busy doing the production of products and services, okay, they always add or apply the VAT, okay. You may not know, but they apply it. You don't have to actually know. Anyway, you might know if you are a person who pays attention. Every time you buy something, on your slip there is where it says a VAT. Let me show you here. Where is it? VAT rate. You see, VAT rate on this. Let me just hide the store on this slip here where it says the VAT. You see, VAT. That is what it is. Some of us, we don't even look at that. Now you must start looking at your slip on how much. They say VAT rate excluded tax include. I don't know, because they are saying include, exclude, whatever it is, but whatever it is, okay? But it's always there. It is done when they are doing the products and also the services, okay? It is usually a percentage added to the price of product or service. The final consumer ultimately bears the cost of VAT while businesses collect and remit the tax to the government, okay? So in other words, the person who pays it, it is the people. That is why you see people complaining about VAT. It is because they know that they are the ones who are paying it. That is why it appears on their slip. Okay. How does VAT work? First of all, at each stage of production or sale, VAT is added to the price of the product. Okay. Businesses can claim back VAT they have paid on their expenses, so they only pay VAT on the value they have added. In other words, businesses, they don't actually lose anything when it comes to VAT, because they can bring it back. And some of them, they can even bring it back by adding the prices, making the prices to be a lot. That means make a price very expensive and just to add on that VAT and everything. In other words, we are the one who gets affected when you buy, because you are the one who's paying it. The final consumer cannot claim VAT, so they end up paying the full tax. Okay, so it says, how does a VAT increase or decrease affect citizens? When VAT increases, higher prices, just what I've already said, right? When the VAT goes up, usually the prices goes up. That is why we are complaining about it. It is because we are going to pay more for prices. The cost of goods and services rises, leading to increased expenses for consumers. Okay, in other words, what you used to pay for, which was 10 rands, now it's going to be maybe 11 rands or 12 rands. That means it increases your expenses. You need to juggle your budget. Those who write budgets, those who write financial planning and stuff like that, they have to readjust now. So it affects you in that way. Higher prices, reduce purchasing power. Okay, people may buy less because products become more expensive. Sometimes it does happen that the product that you usually buy, now it's becoming more expensive in such a way that it affects your finances. And in most cases, or some cases, other people, they drop that product. Okay, they cut it off because it is affecting them negatively in terms of their finances. I'm talking about people who know what they are for, how their financial situation is. They know what is happening in their finances. I'm not talking about people who go and just buy, they don't even care. Okay, people who look at these things. The third one is inflation impact. An increase in VAT can contribute to inflation as businesses pass the tax on to consumers. As you can even hear again, businesses, it doesn't affect businesses. Every time there is an increase on VAT, they pass it through to the consumers. That means you are the one who's going to pay for it. I repeat, you are the one who is paying for it. You may be asking, why are they complaining? That is why you see politicians saying that the government is not thinking of South Africans. It's actually suffocating the South Africans or the citizens of South Africa, because this VAT thing, it is paid by the citizens. Okay, it is very interesting that politicians, they will say to us, yeah, we are all about the people, we are all about our people, as they usually say, our people, because they think we are their people. And then after they said those statements, and then they go into the budget, and then they increase something that affects the people and leave the people that should be punished. Okay, not punished, but people that, there are people, guys, who've got money out there that they should be taking money from, but they're taking money from the people who cannot even afford a bread, taking money even from people who cannot even afford, I don't know what. And then they go and take that money from them. They are paying more on the bread. The bread now is how much? It's 20 rands, I think, from the other shops. It's 20 rands. If it's on sale, it's 19.99. 20 rands bread, Baba. Yeah, I'm telling you. Now, it says also in number 4, impact on low-income citizens. It disproportionately affects lower individuals as they spend a higher percentage of their income on basic needs. You may be thinking, yeah, this thing is affecting, the rich people. It's not affecting the rich people. It affects the people that are on the ground. The rich people, even if they can increase it, I don't think they care, because they are rich, obviously. They generate money every time from the organizations or businesses that you go and buy from. So it doesn't affect them. It affects the people that are at the lower levels. The people that should be given a chance to breed, they're not given a chance to breed. That's why you see people actually complaining about this, okay? And then it says here, when VAT decreases, remember the first part, it was when VAT increases, okay? But when it decreases, this is what happens. Lower prices. The prices, they go low, which is actually good. Other people, they add other things. Now, remember that when it increases, obviously, some of the people, they cut off some of the products, right? And maybe you used to buy something that was not necessary, and then you cut it off because it's getting expensive. But when the VAT goes down, what happens is the other person who took that product and took it away, he brings it back, or we are layer pro product and put it in, because at least now he can afford, or she can afford that product. It's no longer that expensive, okay? And then it says increased spending. People are likely to spend more, which can boost the economy. This is the part which is very important, guys, okay? There is another part that I will talk about, which is very important. This is one of the points that are very, very important. That is why for me, when I look at and I listen to government people and government ministers, whatever, and they talk about this thing of increasing VAT, it always puzzles me. Listen to this point. It says increased spending. That means when VAT is decreased, people spend more money. If VAT increases, people don't spend more money. But if it decreases, people spend more money. Increase, spend less. Decrease, spend more. What does it do when they spend more? Guess what? People are likely to spend more, which can boost what? Economy. We always complain about the economy, right? The economy is going down. The economy is increasing low. The economy percentage is very low. It's not growing. The government is not doing nothing. Now, this thing here, if this VAT can decrease, for example, decrease and decrease and decrease, people are going to be on shops every week. They will be going there every day. They will be going there to buy something. And when people go there to buy something, guess what happens? The economy gets boosted. It is boosted, it grows. But unfortunately now, because it's going to increase the VAT thing, the economy is not going to grow. There is no way it's going to grow. Okay? Because people are not going to go to the shops and buy. Some people are going to cut off some products. In other words, people are going to spend less in shops. They will just get into one shop and take what they want and go. But if the VAT is decreasing, the products, the price of the products are low, most people, they stay long in the shops. They even get into shops where they were not meant to go to. Especially, obviously, ladies. Are you ladies, me? I don't know what's your problem. You know, a person will go to a mall and he goes to, for example, Markham's. And then the next thing now, he's thinking, oh, he gets into 5 stores. And when he comes home, when they come home, and when you see what they have come up with, you can see that these things that they have come up with, it's actually not the things that they need. Later, after 6 months, you will hear them saying, ish, this thing I no longer want it. What are you talking about? Ish, this thing ish, I don't know why did I buy this thing. Or he even forgot that the person bought that thing. She bought that thing even without, it was not their intentions. And 6 months later, they are like, nah, I don't want this thing anymore. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know? And then it says, encourages business growth. Now, guys, of all the things that I have said above, I know that they are important, but these 2 points are very, very important. The first one is increased spending. That means people are likely to spend more, which can boost the economy. The number 3 thing under the VAT decreases, this is what it does, encourages business to grow. Okay, lower VAT can reduce business expenses and encourages investment. Okay, so in other words, if the VAT is decreased, right, businesses, they will grow. Right? That means businesses are going to reduce the expenses of the businesses are going to reduce. And if the business's expenses reduces, usually it encourages investments. There are a lot of people that will come and invest. Okay? In other words, according to what I am hearing, is that if the VAT is increased, investment people, they go away, they run away, they go to other places. But if it decreases, it gives them an opportunity to invest. Okay? And then number 4, it says government revenue declined. The government may collect less tax revenue, which can impact public services and infrastructure development. So, in other words, the government revenue will decline. Now, it actually very interesting because it says government revenue decline. So, if the VAT decreases, the government revenue declines. In other words, the money from the government declines. The government may collect less tax revenue. In other words, if the VAT decreases, the government cannot now come and collect more tax. Why? Because the VAT is decreasing. The reason why they collect more tax, or they want to collect more tax, it is because of the VAT increases. That is why they increase the tax and everything. It's because of the VAT. But if the VAT is decreasing, it is a good thing because the government also will collect less tax revenue. Okay? And then in summary, they say VAT directly affects the cost of living and the overall economy. An increase can lead to higher prices and reduce spending, while a decrease can boost consumer spending and economic growth. You see? So this is all about the economy, 1. This is all about consumer spending, 2. Number 3, which is the most important point, is that the VAT thing, if it increases, guys, whether you like it or not, whether you don't know or you know, it doesn't even matter. It affects you. You know that 20 rand that you used to take out to buy bread, and if the VAT increases, when you go and buy bread in the next time, it might be 21 rands. That means you are going to add 1 rands. You'll remember that when you go to the shop, you go with a 20 rand, right? And then now you go with a 20 rand again and you go and buy bread. They say to you, you are short of 1 rand. You are like, when did it increase? It is because of the VAT. It is not because they are doing it because they don't like you. They are doing it because of the VAT. That is why people are fighting this thing. That's why people are fighting the government. Why are you increasing this thing? It is because of this reason. Okay. So it affects you, it affects me, it affects us in the ground. All right. That is why we fight for VAT to be decreased. But unfortunately, sometimes it happens that the government, they have to increase it, maybe due to some circumstances, and maybe because they can't do anything else except to increase the VAT. There are other political parties like the DA, I think also like what is that party, ATM, and maybe also I think the EFF. They do have some suggestions. Well, I don't know if their suggestions are good or maybe are going to help, but I think they can. It's unfortunate, guys, because all of these parties, they are not in the GNU, only the DA. And the DA, they do have their ideas, and I don't know if their ideas they can work or anything like that. So unfortunately, the government, they have to do what they have to do. And sometimes, even though we don't agree with it, but they have to do what they have to do. And unfortunately, again, there's nothing we can do. So sometimes we can complain and shout and go on YouTube and go on TV and go and shout. At the end of the day, we just have to live with it. Okay? Anyway, I don't know, guys, what do you think about that? I just wanted to bring that to you because I think in most cases, people, they hear about topics, they hear about VAT, they hear about tax, they don't know, they know about tax, that they are paying tax, but they don't know how these things actually sometimes work. I hope that is valuable. I hope that is helpful for you. And I hope you will go and do your own research, guys. Okay. Don't just listen to people who speak on TV, on YouTube, and then you just take it on face value. Go and do your research. When they talk about tax, whatever, you must go and check what is that? What is VAT? When it increases, what happens? When it decreases, what happens? How does it affect me? How does it affect the economy? You can see that it affects the economy very bad. It increases, it's good. The economy grows. It decreases, it increases, the economy is bad. In other words, the economy is doing bad, it's going to do bad and continue, affect businesses, affect everyone. But if it decreases, everyone benefits. Okay? Anyway, I hope that is helpful, guys. You have a fantastic day. And this guy, and I'm out. I believe so. Am I out? Yeah, I'm out. Sharp, perfect. The finishing touch of sophistication. Complete your look with polo belts, crafted from premium materials for timeless style. Elevate any outfit from formal elegance to casual charm. Luxurious craftsmanship, versatile for every occasion, a statement of sophistication. Discover the perfect blend of tradition and style. Wear the difference.